Why is the Premier League's Big Six era dying? Just look at how far United and Spurs have fallen, while unexpected teams are rising. The answer, however, is more complicated than it seems. It all began in 1992, when English football changed forever. The First Division broke away from the Football League, forming the Premier League with a groundbreaking TV deal. This massive injection of money gave clubs with strong financial backing the power to sign the world's best players. But in the early years, one club rose above the rest: Manchester United. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, United became the first true superpower of the Premier League. Their dominance wasn't just about winning trophies. They built a global brand, attracted elite talent, and set the standard for success. While United dominated, Arsenal, under Arsène Wenger, emerged as their fiercest rival. Wenger brought a new philosophy: free-flowing attacking football, intelligent scouting, and an ability to unearth bargain talents. His approach led to one of the most remarkable achievements in English football history: the Invincibles of 2003-04, an Arsenal side that went an entire league season unbeaten. For nearly a decade, United and Arsenal ruled England, winning every Premier League title from 1996 to 2004. But their duopoly wouldn't last forever. A new force was about to shake the league to its core. In 2003, everything changed. Chelsea, fresh off securing a Champions League spot, caught the eye of Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich. He didn't just buy the club, he revolutionized it. Abramovich poured millions into Chelsea, signing world-class players and assembling a squad that could finally challenge United and Arsenal's dominance. Almost overnight, Chelsea went from outsiders to title contenders. From 2004 onwards, they finished outside the top two just once in the next 8 seasons. The message was clear: money had become the most powerful weapon in football, and the rest of the league was paying close attention. While Liverpool was historically one of England's biggest clubs, they struggled in the early Premier League years. They re-entered the conversation with their trophy successes in the early 2000s, with their Champions League trophy of 2004-05 being their biggest. But with the arrival of Jurgen Klopp in 2015 and smart recruitment, they soared even higher, winning the league in 2020 for the first time in 30 years. The Premier League's landscape shifted once again in 2008. Sheikh Mansour took over Manchester City and injected enormous wealth into the club. The investment transformed City from mid-table hopefuls into one of the most dominant teams in football history. With world-class managers like Pep Guardiola and an endless pool of talent, City not only won titles, but rewrote record books. Unlike their rivals, Tottenham Hotspur didn't have a billionaire takeover to propel them forward. Instead, they broke into the elite through smart management, academy talent, and tactical evolution. Their rise began in the 2009-10 season, when they qualified for the Champions League for the first time in the modern era. From there, they became a consistent top 6 side, securing 11 consecutive top 6 finishes. However, silverware eluded them. Their closest moments came in 2016-17, when they finished second in the league, and in 2019, when they reached the Champions League final. But it's not just about football. The Big Six also dominate commercially. Their global fan bases, sponsorship deals, and TV rights revenue make them financial giants. For most of the 2010s, this elite group seemed untouchable. Apart from Liverpool's occasional dips, the other 5 clubs finished in the top 6 in 8 of the 10 seasons. Breaking into this exclusive club seemed impossible. But recently, the cracks have begun to show. Once guaranteed a place at the top, these clubs are scattered across the standings, struggling against a new wave of challengers. This fall from grace didn't happen overnight. In fact, the so-called Big Six have finished as the top 6 only once in the last 5 seasons. Instead, unexpected teams have stepped up. Newcastle shocked the league by finishing 4th in 2022-23, returning to the Champions League after 20 years. Aston Villa followed in 2023-24, edging out Tottenham for the final Champions League spot. And if Nottingham Forest continues their current trajectory, this could be the 3rd straight season where outsiders break into the top 4, let alone the top 6. So, what exactly caused this power shift? No club embodied English football's dominance like Manchester United, but since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, the club has been in freefall. Ownership issues under the Glazers, reckless recruitment, and a constant managerial carousel have left United a shadow of their former selves. They're now struggling in the bottom half of the table. Erik ten Hag was supposed to restore order, but inconsistency plagued his tenure. Worse still, rather than making a decisive managerial change last summer, the club waited until October, leaving his replacement, Ruben Amorim, Tottenham scrambling to play catch-up. Chelsea's financial power was once their biggest weapon, but under Todd Boehly's ownership, it's starting to look like a double-edged sword. Since taking over, Boehly's consortium has spent over £1 billion on transfers, yet Chelsea haven't managed a top-4 finish. The club's strategy has shifted from signing world-class, experienced players to stockpiling young talent for the future. It's a long-term vision, but at the cost of short-term success. Even manager Enzo Maresca has hinted at a lack of urgency in his press conferences. The result? A young, talented squad that lacks cohesion. If Chelsea's reckless spending doesn't translate into results soon, their aggressive transfer approach could backfire spectacularly. Few clubs flirt with greatness as often as Tottenham Hotspur, only to see it slip away. This season has been no different. After losing their best-ever player, Harry Kane, they turned to Ange Postecoglou to revitalize the club with an exciting, attacking philosophy. But the promise hasn't turned into consistency. Poor form, injuries, and defensive frailties have dragged Spurs into the bottom half of the table. As the Big Six stumble, the chasing pack is seizing its moment. When Eddie Howe took charge of Newcastle United, the club was staring relegation in the face. Years of mismanagement under Mike Ashley had drained the squad of ambition and quality, but everything changed with the arrival of Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. Unlike other takeover stories, Newcastle's transformation wasn't just about money, it was about smart recruitment and strategic management. Howe built a squad with a clear identity, signing Bruno Guimaraes, Alexander Isak, and Anthony Gordon, players who fit a high-intensity, attacking philosophy. For Brighton, their rise from lower league obscurity to Premier League prominence is built on smart ownership, excellent coaching, and a strong club culture. Tony Bloom's financial backing and strategic leadership provided stability, while Graham Potter and later Roberto De Zerbi implemented their brand of football, progressive, high-pressing football. Their recruitment focuses on fitting a clear system rather than chasing big names, ensuring squad depth and adaptability. When Unai Emery took over in 2022, Aston Villa was spiraling. Steven Gerrard's tenure had left the club teetering on the edge of relegation. Fast forward just 2 seasons, and Villa is now a Champions League club. Emery wasted no time instilling discipline, tactical structure, and confidence into the squad. Key signings like Pau Torres and Moussa Diaby bolstered the team, but perhaps more impressive was how he revitalized Ollie Watkins and Douglas Luiz, turning them into elite performers. If there's one club that has defied all expectations this season, it's Nottingham Forest. Just last season, they broke the record for the lowest points tally to survive relegation. Now, they sit 3rd in the Premier League, an incredible turnaround. Their resurgence is backed by Greek billionaire Evangelos Marinakis, who initially flooded the squad with 21 new signings upon promotion. But the real turning point came when they hired Nuno Espirito Santo. Under Nuno, Forest has refined its recruitment strategy, prioritizing quick, direct players like Callum Hudson-Odoi and Anthony Elanga, a solid defensive foundation led by Murillo, Neco Williams, and Nikola Milenkovic, and a more structured defending. Offensively, they've become a counter-attacking machine, with Chris Wood scoring the most goals except Salah and Haaland. If they maintain this trajectory, Forest could mark 3 consecutive seasons where an outsider finishes in the top 4, let alone the top 6. So, what does this mean for the future of the top 6? While the Big Six are struggling, will they be replaced? Probably not. A club like Nottingham Forest isn't going to replace Manchester United as a global brand overnight. What's more likely is a shift toward a Big 8 with other teams joining the established elite. And for football fans, this is the best possible outcome. More competition, more unpredictability, more drama.